All right, so I did promise that I would make a video about number 11 for tonight's practice problems. This one's a little harder than the rest of the problems. Before I forget to say it, I did post the Khan Academy that we watched in class today. I posted a video, that same video actually, on Classroom under this link as well. So if you have any questions about how to divide mixed numbers, you can absolutely check out that video again. I'm about to do this something very similar in this problem as well. This one's just a little bit more complicated. So this number 11 says Kara and Nathan are each painting a poster for the school dance. Their posters have the dimensions shown in the table. So here's Nathan's, here's Kara's. How many times greater? So how many times greater actually means we're going to divide. Right? If something was 10 square feet and then something else was 2 square feet, you could say how much greater and it'd be 8 square feet greater, but if I said how many times greater, it would be how many times does 2 go into 10, which would be the same as doing 10 divided by 2. So 10 is 5 times greater than 2. So when something says how many times greater, we're actually doing division, all right? So that's kind of just what I was thinking in my head before I even got to that. I'm just thinking that we're going to have to do some division at the end. But the first thing we need to do is find out how large these posters are. So what is the area? So if you guys remember, area is length times width. So we're going to do the poster length times the width for both Nathan and Kara. So I'm going to do Kara's first, just because I know Kara's will be larger than Nathan's, because it says how many times greater is Kara's than Nathan's. So Kara's is going to be 3 3/4 times 3 3/4. We're not dividing yet, so we're just going to change these to improper fractions, cross reduce, and multiply straight across. First, before I even do this, 3 times 3 is 9. These are a little more than 3. I think this is going to be a little more than 9. To change an improper mixed number to an improper fraction, denominator times the whole number. 4 times 3 is 12, plus the numerator. 12 plus 3 is 15. And keep the same denominator. That's 3 3/4 times 3 3/4 would also be the same thing, 15/4. Unfortunately, you can't cross reduce on this one, so you're going to multiply straight across. 15 times 15 is 225. 4 times 4 is 16. Now I'm not done with this. I'm going to box it in because that's the size of Kara's poster. Only reason I'm not going to change this back to a mixed number is because we have to divide anyway. Remember what we did today, dividing mixed numbers, the first thing you do is change a mixed number to an improper fraction. So I'm going to leave that one there for now. Now I'm going to do Nathan's. Right, so we'll do Nathan's on this side. Nathan's poster was 1 1/2 by 1 1/2, also a square, right? So this would be 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 halves times 3 halves. Nothing to cross reduce. We're going to go straight across. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. So the area of Kara's poster is 225 over 16. The area of Nathan's poster is 9/4. Now we have to find how many, I almost said how much larger, but it's not how much larger, I just talked about that. How many times greater means we have to divide Kara's by Nathan's. Kara's was 225 over 16 divided by 9/4, because that was Nathan's. Remember, when we divide fractions, we're going to keep, change, flip. I'll do this in a different color. Keep, change, flip is going to be 225 over 16. That's the keep. We're going to change it to multiply. Flip the second fraction upside down, so instead of 9/4, it's going to be 4/9. I can see I can cross reduce these. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. I think I can cross reduce these as well. Only reason I know that is I know I can divide this by 9, which means I could divide it by 3. Remember, the divisibility rule is for a bigger number like 225. If you add the digits together and that number can be divided by 3, the whole thing can be divided by 3, and most of the time it can be divided by 9. So 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 2 more is 9. that means we can divide this by 9. So what I'm going to do is do 225 divided by 9 over here to cross reduce. And I know this looks confusing, but I'd rather cross reduce now rather than doing 225 divided by 36. Because if I just multiply straight across, I'm going to get 225, and 4 times 9 is 36. So I'm going to cross reduce these first. Right? So I know I can divide this by 9, that's going to be 1, but I got to divide this by 9, so I'm going to do that up here. 9 goes into 22 twice, which would be 18. 22 minus 18 is 4, drop down the 5, 9 goes into 45 5 times, which is exactly 45. So it looks like we can reduce that and make this a 25. Now I'm going to go straight across. 25 times 1 is 25. 4 times 1 is 4. I'm running out of room here. I wish I had more room. I'll do this last part in red so you can see the final step. I know this looks like a mess. In your notebook, I would have kept going down the paper, which is why we use our notebook. I have to change 25/4 back into a mixed number. 4 goes into 25 6 times, because 6 times 4 is 24, and you would have 1 left over out of the next 4. I'll put that in black so you can see it. It is 6 and 1/4 times larger than Nathan's poster. You may need to rewind that a couple times, pause it here and there. If anybody has any questions further, we can go over it on Wednesday.